Hello everybody, my name is Ron Chernich. I'm with the eResearch Lab at the University of Queensland. In this demonstration we're going to look at how you can make personal notes created with the Pliny Note Management tool publicly available through our Dano annotation server. First I'll show how to open a web page in Pliny and create some text notes relating to the page. These notes are stored on your local workstation, but we can ask Pliny to create an export file of them so they can be imported into a public Dano server using a web service. Then we'll open the original web page in a standard web browser and ask the Dano server to display all the annotations attached to that page. Finally, we'll create a note on a region of an image in Pliny, export it, import it to Dano, then view the imported image region annotation, again in a standard web browser. Here's the Pliny Note Management tool installed as a desktop application. It has its own inbuilt web browser, which will open with the toolbar button. I'll enter the address of the same Old Bailey Online page that Pliny used in their demonstrations, and open a case from 1677. To create a note on this page, we select the toolbar Note button, then select an area in the right-hand pane for our note. Pliny's text notes consist of a title and a body. We can set the title by double-clicking the title area and typing in a meaningful name. To enter the body text, we double-click the body area. To save time, I'll paste some previously prepared text into the body. And our note is complete. Notes can also be made by selecting text on the browser pane and dragging the selection over into the note pane. As before, you can double-click the title area to set a meaningful title for the note. We have now created two personal notes relating to this page in Pliny. These notes will be useful to us in our research, but as they are stored locally, they cannot be shared with others. The Pliny tool has a function that allows you to export your personal notes. To activate this function, we go to the Export button in the right panel. This brings up a standard file selector dialog that asks for a name and a location for our export. I'll use something I can remember and save it to my local hard drive. That's it. Next we'll look at how we can import the Pliny notes to Dano and make them available to the general public. Here's the same Old Bailey page viewed through a standard common web browser. The Dano client will work with Firefox, Safari, Google Chrome, Opera, or even version 8 of Internet Explorer. For this demonstration, I'm going to use Firefox. To discover if there are any public annotations associated with this page, we need the Dano Repeater bookmarklet. We can obtain this from the Danotate page and installing it using drag and drop from the page to the toolbar of our browser. Returning to the Old Bailey tab, we ask Dano for any associated annotations by clicking the Repeater bookmarklet. As we'd expect, there are no annotations for this page. To upload the notes we created under Pliny as Dano annotations, we go to the Dano demonstration website and open the import page. On the import page, we browse to the export we created earlier and select it for import to Dano. We need to apply a collection name so we can manage all the imported notes as a group should we later wish to delete, update or export them in bulk. Lastly, we need to supply a name that will appear as the creator of these annotations. Clicking the import completes the process and we are informed that two annotations have been added by the import. The Old Bailey page now notices that annotations have been added and we get an alert box to inform us of this event. Notes created by Pliny are effectively associated with the entire page, so regardless of where we scroll to, the annotations appear as floating tags in the top left corner. If we hover over a tag, the associated title, text and creator name will appear. The annotation will fade away when we move off the annotation marker, but we can make them sticky by clicking the tag. We now have the private notes created in Pliny made visible to all who visit the same web page through the Dano Repeater. Pliny also provides a way to create notes which relate to specific regions of images in web pages. The process of drilling down to the image can be somewhat tedious, so I've already done that part and we are at the image that interests us, ready to select the region and create the note. To do this, we click the Image Note Selection button on the Pliny toolbar, then drag select over the area we want the note applied to. Just like text-related notes, we can enter a title and a body for the note. Again, I'll paste the content to save tedious typing time. The note is now complete and we can export it using the same process we saw earlier. As we've already seen the export-import steps, I've done those off camera and we're at the import confirmation screen, which tells us that a new annotation has been added. I'll close the confirmation tab and open a new one into which I'll enter the actual address of the image on the remote host, which will take us to the image of our Boggon moth as provided by the NVC web server. This is a raw image, so to see if any annotations exist for it, we click the Dano repeater bookmarklet to resupply the image. Now we see a Danotate style image region annotation marker. Let's hover over the marker to display the annotation and click it to make it sticky. Our annotation has the title and body text that we entered under Pliny, plus a thumbnail of the region of the image originally selected. Buttons in the hover box allow others to reply to our annotation, creating a public collaboration chain of shared information that can be viewed or harvested by OAI PMH from our Dano server. To conclude, private notations created and maintained under Pliny can be made public through Dano so that they can be read by visiting the subject web page. We've also seen that notes made on regions of images under Pliny can be made publicly available through Dano. I'm sure you'll agree that the export-import process is comparatively painless. For more information on Dano, visit the University of Queensland eResearch Lab homepage. Dano was created under funding from the Australian National Data Service. It is fully open source and may be freely downloaded from SourceForge through links on our website. Thanks for taking the time to watch this presentation.